Guys, sometimes I'll be using AdventureWorks databases, right? So this is inbuilt tables which SQL Server has. And I mean to say, it's an external database where we can add our database files. So to add this database, so you just need to do, I'll send you today .bak files. Okay. So those files you need to attach it here. So the process is, so right click on the databases and then click on restore database. Okay. So whatever the files which I'll send, you can save it in your local desktop. And then once you click on restore database, go to device and then click on here, the device, right? So there is a three dotted symbol here, click on that. And then backup media type, since I will send you a file, it will be a file and click on add, right? You can browse it. So the files will be like this, adventureworks.bak. So I'll send you those files. You can click and then click on OK. Wherever we have saved it, you have to navigate to that place. Or else, if it is not able to navigate to your local desktop, so try to copy it the default backup path it is mentioning over here, and then paste it in this location, your backup files, so that automatically it will appear here. Okay, and then click on OK. That's it. It will add the database here. AdventureWorks DW and AdventureWorks to 2012. These two databases .bak file I'll send you today. Okay, we can attach it. Those are the sample tables which is already created and you can utilize it. So there will be a lot of tables here. Okay. And then the next topic is subqueries. Okay. See, basically, if you want to fetch any data from a table, we'll just do select star from table name. All right. So if let's say I'll take here employee, select star from table name, right? So I can see the overall data. Suppose if I want to find out maximum salary, I think before subqueries I should talk about aggregate functions. Guys, did I tell you about aggregate functions?
No, sir.
No, no.
Okay. See, before let's start with aggregate functions and then I'll come to subqueries. So aggregate functions basically used like string functions will operate on the string data type columns, and whereas ranking functions we can operate on any other marks or whatever it is. And then the aggregate functions, it is used to operate on summarizable columns, which means like salary or price, right? Amount, something. So that kind of columns we can aggregate it. So we have few types of aggregate functions. So one of them is sum, min, max, count, and then average. So these are the most used aggregate functions in SQL Server. So as you all know, the sum will sum up the all available values in a table. Let's say if we have salary field here, right? So we don't know how much salary we are providing to your employees. Let's say you have a company and our employees of 18, right? So if you want to calculate how much salary you are providing per month for them, then you have to do sum of all these, right? So sum will perform the aggregation of all the values, which means it will just add up all the available values. So we just need to write select sum of in the sense within the brackets, and then column name is salary, and I need to provide alias name, right? So if you are doing any calculations, the column name will be no column name it will come, so we have to give the alias name. So I'll just give it as sum of salary, okay, from PMP, right? We can see the sum. But if let's say if you want to do a sum based on department wise, you want to calculate the sum of salaries department wise, how to do that, guys? If you want to calculate the sum based on the department, so here I just calculate the overall sum of salaries in your organization or in the table, I can say, right? So this is the amount which you are providing salary to your employees. But my next thought is I want to check department wise how much salary I'm spending for the employees. Any clue?
You can where class?
Group by class.
Where class? See, where class is used to filter the data, right? But
Okay.
I need for all the departments.
Group by sir. Group by.
Okay, group by what?
Group by department number, sir.
Like this.
Over group by. Over group by.
So we have got the values, but from which department we are using? Which department sum it is? So we have to use the department number in
Department number. Yeah.
select
Select
statement.
state.
Okay, let's suppose I won't use group by. Will this query work? Will it work?
Yes.
It will not. Why? Because see, whatever the select statement columns you have, and if you are using any of the columns in aggregate functions, the non-aggregated columns you have to keep it in the group by. I'll repeat it. If you are selecting any columns from a table and few of the columns have any aggregate functions out of it, and whatever the fields which are in not aggregated, you have to use those fields in the group by class. Otherwise, it will not work. So either the column should be in aggregate functions, or either you have to mention them in the group by. Okay. So now we can see. This is the sum of department number 10, and for department 20, this much salary, and for department 50, this is the salary. And if you want to do order by, this is the order by department number. Descending if you want to keep. This is the select statement, right? So you can see now descending order, right? The first order is select and then from class, group by, and then order by. If let's say where does the where class will come? Either here or here. I'm talking about the fully qualified select statement. So let's say if you want to filter out data only for department number 20 and 30, where should I write where class?
After from employee, you should write the where clause.
Yeah, here where class will come. Where department number in, we can mention 20 and then 30. 20 comma 30, right? Okay, I'll comment it here and then we'll see. I want to tell you one more scenario. Here, I want to check whose whose department sum is greater than 50,000. How to filter out? I want to display the only department's salary whose sum of department salary is greater than 50,000. Can I mention in the where class? Where sum of salary greater than 50,000?
We can, sir.
Sorry? We can. Let's see. Right, go on mute if you're not talking. Finish. Yeah. See here. Let's try giving sum of salary is greater than 50,000. Let's see whether it will work or not. Is it working? So read out the error message clearly, guys. An aggregate may not appear in the where clause unless it is a subquery contained in a having clause or a select list. The column being aggregated is an outer reference. So you can read out till here. So we cannot provide an aggregate functions in the where clause. Instead, it is asking to suggest using the having clause. So having clause, let me comment out this one. So we have to use having clause when we use aggregate functions in the filter. If you want to use aggregate functions in the filter, you have to use having clause. And if you have to use having clause, you have to use the group by, then only it will work. Clear? And if you want to use here filter as department number in 2030, you can use it. Department number in 20, 30. Now your output will be only 20. Right? See, this is the fully qualified select statement we'll call. So in interview, they might ask you what is the fully qualified select statement, or else what is the order of the select statement. So first select, and then where clause, then group by, then having, and then at last order by. Right? So if you did not understand this having, let me explain, guys. So if you want to perform any aggregated calculations in the filter in the sense we'll use either where clause as of now, right? But if you want to use aggregate functions in filter, you have to use the group by. Group by will allow the aggregate functions in the filter condition. But whereas by using where clause, we cannot use the aggregate functions. And to use having, we have to use group by, otherwise it will not work. Having clause, right? That is the difference between where clause and then having clause. Guys, there will be interview question on this. What is the difference between where clause and then having clause? Or they'll give you a query where select sum of salary, some department from table name, where sum of department number equals to something like that, they'll give. Whether it will work or not, they'll ask you. So you have to say no. Why? Because in where clause, we cannot perform aggregated operations. And to perform aggregate operations, we have to use having clause, right? And this is the fully qualified select statement, we'll say. I mean the order of select. Any doubts here? No? Okay. So next, minimum. So min function will return the minimum value from the table, least value I can say. So minimum salary, right? So select min of salary from employee, right? This is the minimum. And then max will return the maximum value, simple, right? So these are the simple aggregate functions. And then count will return number of values in a table. I'm going fast since it is very simple functions, right? So we have only 18 records, right? So if you do select star from, you can get to know how many records are there in the table. 18 rows are there, right? So that's why count will return the number of values in a table. So you can see 18. And then average. Guys, how to calculate average in DLT? Sum of all the values divided by number of values, right? So this is how the average will be calculated background, and then the output is this one, right? So these are the simple aggregate functions we'll use.
Sir, how to find out mean values?
Mean
Salary.
minimum, right?
Nah, mean.
Mean, there is no function called mean here in SQL.
Okay.
Yeah, mean, mid, that's what you are talking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have functions. You have to write maybe your own calculations. Okay. So these are the aggregate functions, and then the next topic is subqueries. Guys, subqueries is nothing but a query within a query will call. Okay. Query within another query. That is what the name says, subqueries, right? So basically, if you want to view data from a table, we can do select star from table name. But let's say directly I'll come to the questions, guys. So there is no theoretical part here to explain for subqueries. It will be a scenario based questions. So my first question is display salary of an employee whose salary is greater than the average salary of employees. Can anyone try to give the query for this question? Display the salary of an employee whose salary is greater than the average salary of employees. Can anyone tell how many questions are there in this question?
2 questions.
2, right? So the first one is
Average salary.
First one is total salary, and the second one average salary.
Mhm. So the first thing is we need to select salary of an employee, which means select maybe employee name or employee number, and then salary it is asking from employee table. This is basic, right? The first part, select display of an salary of an employee. So this is we are displaying employee and then salary, right? The next question is whose salary is greater than the average salary of employees, which means what we need to write, whose is a question, right? It will be a filter where salary is greater than the average salary of employees. How to calculate average? Select
Average
of salary
salary
from
employee.
MP. This is what the subquery will call it as. This is the main query will say, and here this is the subquery. So a query within another query will call it as a subquery, and the fully query is this one. First innermost query will get executed in subqueries, right? This query will get executed, and this value will get passed to the main select statement, which is here, right? So you can try to execute this one alone, it will execute. All right. So you need to get the salary whose average is greater than that. So these are the values. Clear? Maybe I'll show you. What is the average salary here? 12179. So the values which will return now, it should be greater than 12179. So here it is all 30,000, right? Greater than 12,000, all the values here, right? Any concerns here? The subquery part. The subquery is nothing but query within another query. First innermost query will get executed. Innermost in the sense this is the one. And then once innermost query will get executed, the value will get passed to the main outer query. And then the outer query will get executed with that value. Right? Let's try the second one. Okay, you will get better understanding if you did not understand. Okay, this is the one we tried it now, right? So yeah, can you try this one? Display employee name, salary of those employees whose salary is more than the average salary of department number 20.
Select ename comma salary from EMP where salary
Select. Can you come again?
yeah.
Select.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ename
Ename.
comma salary from employee where salary is greater than, and the subquery will start with select average of salary from employee where department number equal to 20.
Perfect. Guys, everyone fine? Understood? It's simple, right? So if you understand the query, it is easy to write a query for that question, right? So I've just asked display employee name, salary of those employees. So I'm selecting employee name, salary from table name, and then whose salary is more than in the sense maybe greater than, right? So where salary is greater than the average salary of department number 20. So here we calculate calculated the average salary, but here extra thing we added here is department number 20. Calculating the average salary for department number 20. So this value will get passed. This will execute first, and then it will pass to the outer query. And if you execute, the full outer query will get executed now. Clear? Any concerns, guys? If not, can you try this question? Anyone tell me the query? So the thing is, first thing here, they are asking to display employee name and then job, then salary from EMP. This is first thing, right? Who are working on the same job of as Alan. So let me do select star from table name first. What it is saying? Same job as of Alan. So what is our filter condition? Where job equals to, right? So we need to write a subquery of what is the job of Alan, right? So select job from EMP where e name equals to Alan, right? This is first thing. And salary is greater than the salary of Miller. So I need to calculate again one more subquery. Select salary from EMP where e name equals to Miller, right? So first this innermost query will get executed, and then the second innermost query will get executed here, and then the full outer query will get executed. You don't understood, guys? It is simple, right? So I'm just here asking selecting employee name, job, and salary from employee. This is it. And then who are working on the same job of Alan. So first we need to find out what is the job of Alan, right? So that's what I did it here. Same job of Alan. Alan is working as a salesman. So where job equals to select job from table name where employee name equals to Alan. And what is the other condition? And salary is more than the salary of Miller. So and salary is greater than, I am finding out the salary of the Miller here, which is select salary from table name where e name equals to Miller. Clear? So these kind of calculations we have to do by using subqueries. When we use subqueries, if you are not able to find the right result set within a main query, then we have to go for subqueries. All right. So this requirement I cannot achieve in normal query, right? So let's say there is another query for you, so which is display second maximum salary. Second maximum salary in the sense we have to find out the top maximum salary. Right?
Can you explain on second this?
Which one?
About Allen and Miller.
This one?
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
See here what I asked, go on mute. So here I asked like, so displaying employee name, job, and then salary. So that is what I displayed here. Select job, salary from employee. And then next question is, of those employees who are working on the same job of Alan, right? So who are working? See, I need to fetch the employee details. Who are working on the same job of Alan? So I need to find out first, what is the job of Alan? So that guys I need to fetch as output. So where my where clause is where job should be job of Ellen. So that's for to find out the job of Ellen, I have written this subquery. Select job from table name where employee name equals to Ellen. So this will fetch the job of the Ellen as per our query here, our question, right? Till now clear?
Yeah, got it.
And there is one more condition here. It should be same job of Alan, and also salary should be more than the Miller. And salary is greater than, I'm calculating the salary of Miller. So by default, the where class will take care of this condition, right?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So here the next question is select second maximum salary from table name. Select star from EMP. So second maximum salary will give order by salary descending. Descending in the sense I told you, right? Ascending and then descending. Order by will do sorting either descending or then ascending. So if we give descending, the top value will display at the top first, right? So this is the top, and second max salary is 45,000, right? So how to get this second maximum salary, guys? If I use select max of salary from EMP, it will retrieve the maximum value, which is 60,000. So I need to give second maximum salary, right? So shall I use less than and again select max of salary? From EMP. Did I get now second maximum salary? I'll execute both the queries. This is my original table values, and if I do order by descending, the top value will come first. This is my second maximum salary here, right? So by using this subquery, select max of salary from employee will give the maximum value, and I'm just filtering out where salary is less than the maximum salary. So it will fetch the second maximum salary. If you want third, and again you have to filter out here where select max of salary less than this one. Third maximum salary will get. If you want fourth, you need to give this subquery 4 times. If let's say if I ask 10 maximum salary, you need to write 10 subqueries. Do you think that is the proper way to fetch?
No.
Write a queries? No, right? So can we get it this output by using any other functions or any other topics? Can we get it? Can we achieve this? Think about ranking functions. Can we? Let me try. Select.
Yes, can use ranking functions.
Which ranking functions we need to use? I'll use dense rank. Okay. Over order by salary descending as RF from EMP. Right? So if I execute this, these are the rank numbers, right? So I'll create CTE out of it, on top of it, with CTE underscore dense rank as, guys, you know the syntax, right? So no need to explain again. So select, I'm just selecting from the CTE, select star from CTE underscore TN, where what should I use here? If I want second maximum salary, where row number equals to 2, I can use, right? Clear? I can get the second maximum salary now. So if I don't want that row number should be displayed here, in select statement, you can just mention these two columns while selecting data. Now we will not get that row number. This is the second maximum salary. If you want third, you can just mention here row number 3. But how many values you are getting here? If you want to use only
3.
top one, you can use your top function. Top will retrieve only top first value. You can see it. You don't want to display the duplicate values. And if you want the fifth maximum salary, this top function will retrieve the top few values. If you use top one, only top one value will be retrieved. If you use top 10 values will be retrieved. Even if you do right click here, you can see select top 1000 rows, right? While selecting data, which means the table is having 10,000 rows, it will retrieve only the 1000 rows out of it by default. That is what the top function will do, right? So now if you want to calculate 10th maximum salary also, it is easy for you. You can give Rn equals to 10. This is the 10th maximum salary. If you want it, I can show you. The salary is 1300, right? If I execute this query alone, you can see the 10th rank 10 here, 1300, right? And this query simple I written here, nothing. Select employee name, salary, and then dense rank over. I didn't use the partition by. I don't want to use partition by. Why? Because here the dense rank will calculate the ranks based on the individual values, right? So even though there is a duplicate values, there will not be a gaps in assigning the ranks if you use dense rank, right? So that is the reason why straight away I used dense rank. And then if let's say two values are there for the same rank, if you want it to be displayed only one, you can use the top function, top one, so that you will not get the duplicate values, right? So in interview, they will ask you how to find out nth maximum salary. Nth maximum salary in the sense, in place of n, they can ask you third maximum salary, they can ask you fifth maximum salary, they can ask you seventh maximum salary, right? So this is the query you can tell in the interview, right? You can say with CTE using ranking functions, we can fetch it and we have to tell this query. Everyone clear?
Yes.
Okay. So if it is clear, then that's it for today, guys. And I'll take tomorrow 1 hour class. And the topic is pending is table variable here. And then I'll start with TSQL topics. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Practice well. Okay. Don't
Thank
delay
you.
your practices. And yeah. Thanks for joining. We'll connect tomorrow.